Rafi, welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, I know we've known each other for a number of years. Been in UAE over 40 years. Rafi, you and your wife Rosie, who I've known dearly and really close to me, and what you did in terms of working in a multinational in a very, very tough environment to make multinationals aware of corporate social responsibility. I remember this because I remember it when it first started, movement started in your office. And you've really evolved it, and you've actually gone beyond that, and have also actually created another. You and Rosie have created some incredible hub of giving back to the community with children with special needs. So I really like you to touch first on corporate social responsibility, given the current environment or economic environment. Of course, there's a lot of insecurity in jobs. There's a lot of people who may not be able to make financial means, but what does a multinational, what is actually corporate social responsibility of an organization?
Thanks, Iseeb, and thank you to be back. This was 2008. I remember very distinctly when things were really not looking good for anywhere in the world. We had financial crisis, we had a meltdown, we had markets going haywire, we had balance sheet constraint of companies. I was driving back to office one morning, and I see busloads of construction workers. The bus is stranded. They are, out of the bus and in there. It's very hot, and I look at to see that the construction business has so suddenly stopped because of the crisis. And we hear most of these construction companies are finding it very difficult to manage people and to pay their salaries on time. So, I went back to office and I, sat and thought about what can we do as an organization, right? In the case of humanity, to help these stranded construction workers. So in a team meeting, I had said, look, it's very easy for all of us to write a check, but it's very difficult for all of us to give time.
Right.
So all I'm asking my team was to, guys, can we find the time to go a couple of kilometers behind our office, right, to see how the other half in Dubai lives.
Right.
Right. And that's how it all became very relevant to all of us.
Right.
That there was a need not just to help, but also to provide a socially responsible framework to make this part of a corporate structure.
Right.
Right. So a couple of months later, we had Ramadan. So we decided that we will start with a food program and a hygiene program for as many people as we possibly can.
Right.
And so it all started in the back of all our cars, taking delivery of food from kitchens,
Right.
and going to the camps to help out.
Right.
So that was year one. As we progressed, every year it grew bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right.
So one time the group CEO at that time was Mr. Stuart Gulliver. He came to UAE and we said, look,
This is HSBC.
HSBC.
Right.
We're doing this. He said, it was a great idea. Can the bank help you?
Right.
I said, yes, absolutely. So with the help of local management and with the blessing of senior management out of UK, we managed to set this up. as a local corporate initiative
Right.
to give back to a community that feeds us.
Right. True.
Right. So it was very powerful.
Yeah.
And we had the entire bank, rolled out towards this. And 2-3 years later, it became one of its worldwide initiative,
Wow.
right, as part of the top 10 CSR responsibility of the bank.
Right.
And the bank now contributes, I think, probably about 10,000, packets of food every day in the summer, in during Ramadan. So this is how it started.
Right.
Right. And I'd like to think, that it has gone a long way to become a well-established social responsibility
Right.
in this part of the world. Unlike other social responsibilities in other continents where that is slightly different.
Yeah.
In Africa, you build tube wells for, clean drinking water. In Asia, you provide other kind of medical services. Here, it was a need.
Yeah.
And we saw during the crisis that there was a need for us to give time.
Yeah.
And listening to some of the stories were really very powerful. You just don't go and give food. You just go and talk to people, listen to their struggles, listen to their ambitions, listen to their successes. Right. And that is what makes it, so much more personable, so much more powerful. I mean, one can easily write a check. Right, or transfer money, but it was not that. I think the most powerful messages were when you meet those people, when you meet the people who is receiving the food from you, talking to them, listening to their stories. It was very powerful.
Yeah, I'm sure. Look, I mean, we've both been, you've been here longer than me, but certainly, when we first moved and the labour workforce being transported, the way they were living, accommodation, and I know that you've, and together many, many people have kind of, like the government more importantly, have been supporting the initiatives. And had that change, had those initiatives didn't start, the awareness wouldn't be there. But what message do you give people today? Because we are in another economic downturn cycle. Yes, we understand that it's not just, it's obviously the construction workers, everybody, but as you say, how do people make time? How do you make them make time?
You see, I always ask this question to a lot of my clients, a lot of people I meet, right, is how often do you ask, somebody working for you as a blue-collar worker, how are you? Right? Is everything okay? Right? You start there. Right? And that attitude literally, feeds into your own psyche to ask that question if you meet somebody who is less privileged than you are.
Right.
And that's how it all starts. And if you ask the simple things, right? I mean, you go to any mall in Dubai, you have all these car washing guys that come up to you, sir, can we wash your car? How often does anybody ask them, how are you? Do you need a bottle of water? Things like that changes the entire perspective of your life.
That's true. Very true.
Right? And I think you start from there, and then you will take yourself to the places where you've never been before.
True.
And you will want to have that opportunity to give something back.
And
I think that's a very, powerful way of looking at it.
That's interesting, because we did a little exercise during COVID lockdown, and my assistant decided to send kind of a mailer to every registered broker there was. We just wanted to make sure everybody was okay.
Exactly.
And we were stunned, absolutely stunned with the response we got back. and having helped a number of people because either they had no financial means, but also really they couldn't go, didn't know where to go and what to do. And it was just talking them through was an immense, for me, it was a huge satisfaction that it doesn't matter where they worked, but they were in my industry, but we knew the suffering was there. So I think you're absolutely right. So again, I suppose the message to companies or the organizations is start on your doorstep. First, talk to people, understand, and then move on. But of course now, as the countries prosper, the gap widens, right? Because then, of course, how do you then make sure that everybody gets that piece of awareness that there is another society that lives there? And I think, remember you telling me the story, particularly when you took your guys down to, literally back of the office, 3 kilometers, 2 kilometers distance is not far. And they were all came back in total awe. And I believe some of them are still committed to the same vision today. And this is after almost 2 decades of starting that initiative. So I think it is something that we should all look at and we should.
I mean, having said all of that, I think we must also, give credit where it is due. The government has done a lot of heavy lifting in this.
Yeah.
Right. Living conditions, sanitation, medical, insurance, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not gone unnoticed.
Yes.
Right. The government have taken big steps to ensure that any new blue collar worker that comes has minimum protection for his salary, for his medical, for his transportation, and so on and so forth. Right. So I mean, you have to appreciate that UAE is a new country. 50-year-old is nothing. Right. So these things take time to roll out. These things take time to get prioritized. These things take time to get noticed. But having said all that, the UAE has taken all of that into its stride and have given back where it was needed. Right. So in a way, what we started as a very small thing has now mushroomed into awareness, kindness, giving back, as best as one could.
Rafi, another subject. I know it's very close to your heart, and you and your wife Rosie, you both started this movement called Fame. Okay, I remember being invited to the first one, and I never forgot it. I have to tell you, I never ever forgot it. It kind of almost embedded in my head. And you started awareness, i.e., helping children with special needs and children who needed. Who were actually needed extra assistance in a normal society, as I would say. But you actually, the time, and you talk about time, how people give time. And I have to say, before you tell me more about it, that the time that you and Rosie give into this and the project, I really like to understand how that project came about and what made you decide to start that program called Fame. With children with special needs.
Look, Iseeb, thank you for asking that, but I can't take credit for it at all.
I'm not. Right. I know I'm going to get the boot from Rosie later on, but
but it is. I think it's a work of passion for her. Right. As you know, we have a member of my family who is special needs. Our youngest daughter. And when we moved back in 2002, there was really no infrastructure for people of determination, which is now being termed as, not just from an education point of view. From an education point of view, there were centers and so on and so forth. But there was nothing beyond that. So when a child goes to a center from 8 o'clock till 1 o'clock, comes back home, what does that child do from 2 until bedtime? So Rosie and I thought about it. And we've been seeing our own daughter, really at home. So it was her idea, these children also deserve to have a similar life as all of us.
Yeah.
Right. So what can we do? So during the same time, our eldest daughter was graduating from a school here, and she was invited to a prom. Right. And she went to the prom and came back, and that's when Rosie felt the fact that, look, if our middle child or older child can go to a prom, what would happen to the younger one because she doesn't go to a school? How can we help them, right? Or what can we do to make their life a bit more celebration than just a normal life? So she came up with the idea of having a special prom. Right, from the centers that our youngest daughter was going to go. And the first year, we had a special prom at one of the hotels in Dubai. And from there, it just grew. That was the nucleus of what FAME is today.
Right.
And as you know, FAME stands for Fashion, Art, Music, and Entertainment.
Yeah.
Right. So it is to do with performing arts.
Yeah.
Right. It is to do with nurturing the abilities of people of determination.
Right.
And most people of determination have an ability outside learning from textbook.
Right.
They're either musical,
Yeah.
they're either theatrical,
Yeah.
they're either artistic, right? Or a combination of all, right? So FAME encompasses all of that,
Yeah.
right? If they are artistic, we showcase their art. If they are theatrical, if they learn music, we do fashion shows for them. So that was 2015 when the nucleus was just being formed. So it's been just over 10 years that FAME has been around in Dubai. And the last 5 years, we have grown quite substantially to have our own place now, right? We have a studio, which is in Al Quoz, not far from here, where we have between 25 and 30 kids. They come, they learn new skills, either it's music or it's still in the same theme of fashion, art, music, and entertainment, right? And they make friends. The whole idea was to give them a platform where they can come, integrate among themselves, have a bit of fun, have lunch or watch a movie or learn an instrument or learn something to do with performing arts. And at the end of each year, we showcase, what they're able to do on stage. Yep. And this has been our biggest kind of eye-opener for people in Dubai.
Oh, good, yeah.
They come to these events and they say, oh my God, I didn't know my child could do this.
Yeah.
Or I didn't know my nephew could do this. I didn't know my niece could do this. And word got around. And the last 4 or 5 years, we've had enormous support from friends and family is here. And also some corporate sponsorship, right? When they do come to our events, they see how they perform. They see their talent. They see that they don't have any inhibitions, and the way they performed, they're just taken aback.
Yeah. I mean, we attended the last year's Azabeel Hotel. I mean, it was, you just literally froze when you looked at those children, and I can't even imagine the amount of practice and the hours and hours you and Rosie and the team and the volunteers would have actually spent getting their children to teach them. It was just phenomenal. It really was an absolute great achievement from where it was and what it was that day. It was just unbelievable.
The thing is, there's still a lot more to do. And, we have taken FAME to UK.
Yeah.
Right. We've had our first event 2 years ago in the UK. We are going to have one this year.
Okay.
Right, in the autumn, and it is gaining some rhythm. It is gaining some momentum.
Right.
I mean, what we say to parents that they bring your child here for fun.
Yeah.
Right. Let them display their talent.
Yeah.
And they are very, happily surprised.
Yeah, I mean, true. And also, you've actually also had even better some achievements where some children have been put into work experiences.
Yes.
This is really interesting, and that really got us all talking more. Was that amazing how you've got them to do a little bit of work experience. And menial tasks to now getting to the mainstream as well.
Yes,
so you've had success in that front.
Absolutely. Institutions like Emirates NBD, institutions like Gulf Islamic Investments, they had come to our events. They have seen the kids perform, and they say, "My God, if this is their ability, can we channel some of their ability to?" To work placements.
Yeah, right.
Hospitality companies have seen our kids perform, and they have taken in for apprenticeship, for summer jobs, and so on and so forth.
Amazing.
Some of our earlier participants are now full-time, theater actors. Right. So yeah, I mean,
incredible.
Small bits and pieces of success, but I think it gives us so much joy to be able to give something back.
Yeah.
And it all started at home.
Yeah.
It was never documented as a business plan. Right?
Absolutely.
It was never documented as year 1, year 2, year 3 success. It all started at home as what can we do to give something back.
Yeah.
And now that I'm fully retired, I mean, this gives me, great pleasure to give something back to the society.
Yeah. I think, look, this is brilliant. And also, if somebody is listening and says, look, I want to give some time, volunteer time, and I'm sure that we'll share your details of fame to them. And I think when if somebody is thinking about it, when they actually physically go there to the studio, it really is quite an eye opener.
Yeah.
I have to say. But one of the things also within the region itself, or within UAE, we know there are centres there. You've got the Al Noor, Al Rashid, and other centres around. Those are great because they're actually teaching them or nurturing or rehabilitating them some way. But I think yours is different, right? I mean, if I understand right, you're bringing their own talent out.
Yeah. So we are not a center. We are not a school.
Yeah.
What we say is we are an events hub.
Right.
You come here, we will work with you to showcase your talent. Right. And that's what we, end up doing is at the end of each year, right, we showcase the talent, not just to the parents, but to the community as a whole.
Yeah,
right. And people have come forward to support us, not just with writing a check. Some people have come and volunteered through us. Some people come and they want to have an event with these kids. They will sponsor an event of some kind.
Okay.
So yeah, we have seen bits and pieces, but I don't think we have spread the word out there too much yet.
Yeah.
I think there's still work to be done, but we have been so busy with doing the little things that we do, right? Have not had time to really take this to the next level.
Yeah. And you have children coming from different Emirates as well.
So we have children coming from Abu Dhabi, from Sharjah,
incredible,
and so on and so forth.
And how the words just sprung about. And okay, and how do you and Rosie now? What's next for Fame?
The next for Fame is to be able to do more of the same.
Okay.
Right? Because we want to keep it focused on those 4 verticals. Right? We now have 25 to 30 kids. Right? Can we do more with another set of 25 to 30 kids?
Right.
But for that, we need teachers, we need volunteers, we need we have space, and I think we're very grateful for our sponsors for providing us with the space. But we just need more of the same.
More of the same.
Right. Different age groups, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. But I think the biggest challenge we have is to find teachers, talented teachers. Not everybody can work with special needs kids.
True.
Right. Not everybody can stimulate people of determination.
Yeah.
So these are special people that can do that.
Yeah.
Right. So finding them has been our biggest challenge.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But more sponsorship,
True.
more corporate alignment would be a very useful thing.
Yeah. Rafi, thank you very much. There's such an insight into corporate social responsibility, as well as yours and Rosie's special project, which I think, hats off to both of you and the amount of time you devote to it.
Yeah.
But anybody is interested, you really, really got to go there and have a look at the hub. You'll know exactly what we're talking about, and that will make us all think and try and devote time. Thank you very much again.
Thank you,
Thank
Iseeb. No, thanks for having me.